in the heart of Boston's North End,
where narrow streets weave between brick buildings and the smell of the harbor hangs in the air.
one disaster stands apart from all others, not because of fire or violence or war, but because of something almost unbelievable: molasses.
Before we dive into this bizarre and tragic catastrophe, make sure you're subscribed to Crimes Through Time if you love uncovering the strangest forgotten disasters, the mysteries history tried to bury, and the stories too wild for fiction. Hit that like button. It helps this channel reach more curious minds around the world. Now, let's go back to a cold winter afternoon in 1919, when a bubbling tank of dark syrup unleashed one of the most destructive floods in American history. In the early 20th century,
Boston's North End was a neighborhood of immigrants.
factories, stables, and warehouses. The United States Industrial Alcohol Company (USIA) operated at full power,
producing alcohol from molasses to supply munitions factories during World War I. On Commercial Street stood one of their most important structures,
a massive 50-foot tall steel tank
containing more than 2.3 million gallons of molasses.
Residents heard it groan and creak.
Some said they saw it leak. Some kids even collected the dripping molasses in jars.
No one listened.
The tank had been rushed into service. Construction corners were cut. Inspections were skipped.
And the company painted it brown to hide the leaks.
Inside that metal giant, something was brewing. January 15, 1919.
Temperature jumped dramatically overnight,
from freezing cold to nearly 40 degrees. Inside the tank, the molasses expanded.
Workers reported metallic groans.
Horses grew restless. The tank shuddered. At 12:40 p.m., the steel shell gave out with a sound witnesses later compared to machine gun fire.
Rivets shooting out in every direction. Then came a roar,
like an avalanche. The entire tank exploded. A wall of sticky, dark molasses surged into the streets.
25 feet high, moving at 35 miles per hour.
A wave strong enough to lift buildings off their foundations.
Powerful enough to tear apart steel structures. Forceful enough to trap anyone who crossed its path.
Imagine trying to outrun a tsunami of syrup.
People on the street were swallowed instantly.
Horses pulling wagons disappeared into the flood. A city worker in the nearby Boston
firehouse was crushed
when the building collapsed under the pressure of the molasses wave.
The force snapped elevated train tracks. It pushed freight cars across the yard. Windows burst under its weight. Witnesses described scenes like something out of a nightmare. Men, women, and children trapped in a sticky, suffocating mass.
Screams muffled by the thick syrup.
People unable to move, sinking inch by inch. 21 people died.
More than 150 were injured.
Many suffocated because the molasses hardened as it cooled on their bodies.
Boston's first responders rushed to the scene, but what they found defied belief.
Firefighters and police struggled to push through what one survivor called brown
cement. Horses drowned standing up. Entire homes were ripped from their foundations. Rescue workers used axes, saws, ropes, anything they could to cut people free. Some victims were trapped for hours.
When night fell, freezing temperatures turned the molasses into solid candy-like crust. Rescue missions became recovery missions.
By morning, the whole neighborhood smelled like a giant bakery mixed with disaster. The cleanup took weeks. Workers used hot water, salt, sand, and heavy scrubbing. Fireboats sprayed seawater from the harbor onto the streets.
Molasses clung to everything: cobblestones, walls, docks, shoes, tools. Cleanup crews tracked it all over the city.
For decades, locals insisted you could still smell molasses in the north.
And every hot summer day, some say you still can.
Immediately, the USIA company blamed anarchists. It was convenient. It was political. It was false. Investigators quickly learned the truth. The tank had been poorly built. The steel was too thin. The rivets were substandard. The tank had never once been properly tested. USIA executives ignored warnings. They dismissed complaints. They covered leaks with paint instead of repairs. In what became one of the longest civil trials in Massachusetts history,
the company was found liable. They paid out more than $600,000,
the modern equivalent of more than $10 million, but no amount of money could undo the devastation.
Today, the site of the disaster is a public playground. Children run, play, and laugh where tragedy once unfolded.
A small plaque marks the location,
a reminder of a day when complacency, negligence,
and greed combined into catastrophe.
The Boston Molasses Flood remains one of the strangest and deadliest industrial disasters in American history. A reminder that danger doesn't always come from fire, water, or war.
Sometimes it comes from something as simple as a syrup tank left untested. Thank you for watching Crimes Through Time. If this strange and tragic disaster fascinated you, hit like, subscribe, and share your theories about how such a catastrophe could have been prevented.
And as always, we'll see you in the next episode. Until then, stay curious, stay safe.